Ooh, zombies? I didn't know this was a thing. I did not know this was a thing. Oh, city skylines. Go home. You're drunk. Come on, guys. Hello, and welcome back to City Skylines with Splat. In today's episode, it's lions, tigers, and bears, oh my, as our Canal Islands tourism continues to grow. We're going to be putting in a massive zoo as well as some exquisite beachfront hotel properties. So let's see if we can keep both the flamingos and the snowbirds happy. So as you can see, we are making some progress on our canal district that we put in. Things have been growing in, I've been zoning things in and adding some buildings here and there, and things are really starting to take off. And we've got some amazing looking neighborhoods going in here and there. So over here, a lot of residential's been going in with different themes and things like that. The city is filling up, our population is becoming quite explosive, and we have 2 little bear spots left that I want to work on in this episode. We've got this spot right here that I want to turn into a beachfront area with some nice hotels and different things like that. And then over here, we have this large area here where we are going to be installing a zoo. So we're going to get started on the zoo first. And to do that, we're going to pause the game and we're going to think about how we want to do it. Okay, so we are going to be pulling our road in off of this intersection right here. And I think I want to have a frontage road. So I'm just going to grab my parallel road dealy bobby here. That road there. And then we're just going to connect it in to each intersection. Yeah, that'll work. And then we can put in some trees and stuff in here, make it look beautiful. And the parking lot, I believe, will go over here on this side. Let's go ahead and put some parking in, which I've already pulled up here. All right, so we got a parking lot put in, and now we are ready to start getting the zoo set up. So the main gate to the zoo is going to be right here next to the metro station. The zoo main gate, zoo small, zoo side. We're gonna go with a zoo main gate. And for some reason, it won't let me place anything here, which doesn't really make any sense. Is it because I used that tool to put the road in? Is that why it's causing this to happen? How about that? Can I put it in now? Okay, so it didn't like the fact that I duplicated it. That's fine. All right. So we've got our zoo main gate here. So people park and they can walk in to the zoo. In fact, we're gonna add a little bit more parking over here in all that empty space. A little tiny parking lot right here. Okay, so now that we got our parking all set up and we have everything ready to go, I just threw in a little playground area for the kids, put in a couple of parking lots. We got the metro station right here. We are ready to get started on the zoo itself. So we're gonna have to put a district in first. So here we got our park areas. We're gonna paint in a park area to cover everything here. So away we go, paint, paint, paint. All right, and let's grab our zoo main gate. I think it's this one here. Yep, and the zoo main gate is gonna go right in front of the metro station. Right there, so people can come in here and they can park here, or they can park here, and then they can walk to the front entrance of the zoo. And now we're ready to start putting some pathways in. So I think just to get started, we're gonna draw a nice straight one off of here because I'm pretty sure we're gonna have like a main boulevard that just kind of goes down the center of the zoo. And then it's gonna branch off and kind of wiggle around and be a little more free-flowing and organic to find different parts. Now, when you first come into the zoo, of course, there's going to be a few things that you have to have as soon as you come in. And we're gonna put those things in right away. So when you first come into a zoo, you gotta have the souvenir shops because, you know, the zoo has to sell stuffed animals to all the kitties, and you have to have some restrooms for people to enjoy as soon as they come in. So we're just gonna stick our restrooms, one for the gents and one for the ladies on either side here, so that when people come into the zoo, they have a place to go offer their services to the Tinkle Temple, as I like to call it. Make this look even. There we go, a little better. And then we're gonna have the souvenir shops are actually going to front this part of the zoo as well, because the zoo in my hometown has all this stuff just before you leave so that you can't get away without spending some extra money. Okay, so we have a zoo entryway ready to go, and we have the gift shops here, and we have the bathrooms that we need for everybody. And it is time now to start putting pathways around our zoo to kind of think about what we're gonna do. I think the zoo is gonna have an outside ring of pathways with most of the stuff being held inside. So let's grab our pathway tool, and we're gonna go with trees just to make it beautiful, because I can always go through and change what kind of trees we're using, and that's a lot of fun. Okay, so now that we have a external path put in, we're ready to start putting together the rest of the zoo. So I was looking through the different things that we have, and I think I want to put like what I'm calling kind of like the large land space creatures, antelope and the moose and the bison and the rhinos and stuff over here in this space. And then over here on this side, I want to put more specialized stuff like the reptile house, or what else? Like the lion enclosure, things like that are going to fit over here, as well as putting maybe like the food and things in this area as well. So let's take a look at what we have and get started. We have a insect, amphibian, and reptile house. This is not very large, and I think that this thing is going to fit quite nicely right here in this little section. And I like this because it's also going to give the zoo a little bit of an attractive look as you come in, because it says zoo. So seeing it from the roadside here kind of makes it, I think, gives it a little bit more of an appeal. And we have this little bow here in the wall, which I think we should be able to just drop in one of these plazas across from it. I think I'm gonna move that fence just a little bit, just to kind of match up a little bit better with what we're doing here. Yeah, something like that. There we go, that's a little better. Okay, so we can bring this little plaza in, and we can come in later and decorate this plaza with a little bit more stuff. And we're gonna bring the pathway up here, and I think we're gonna put like a little restaurant here and a few other things, just to make this seem a little bit more inviting and appealing. So let's pull in our path like we wanted to right there. Yeah, we can come back later and put in some trees and things here to make that look. So coming down from the road, I think that's gonna look nice coming in from that direction. So that was our insect, amphibian, and reptile house. And we also have a few other specialty jobs in here. We got the monkey palace, which I think is going to go over here as well. And we have the lion enclosure, which is going to go over here. And there was another one I wanted to put over here. Which one was it? Was it the birdhouse? Yes. So the birdhouse, I want to spread this stuff out a bit, and I think I might even want to have a couple of these birdhouses. I think these things, you would need to have more than one. You would need to have more than one birdhouse in your zoo area. And so we're going to pull this off and bring it around, and we're going to have a couple of those in there. And this is just going to be a straight old road, a straight old pathway that comes off like this, and it's going to curve into there. We're going to grab the birdhouse, and we're going to put one birdhouse right in here and another one across from it immediately. That's going to get into the way of that thing. So let's that, and let's do that. So we got a couple of birdhouses. We're going to put some more of those plazas and things in here. We'll come back and do some more gardening and landscaping. Let's go ahead and grab our paths again to make this available so people can go that way. That wasn't supposed to make that curve, so we'll fix that. We're going to put our two bird houses here. So we need to go through this area now and do a little bit of decoration to make this look nicer. So let me fill this in and I will come right back. All right, so that is looking absolutely outstanding. And now that we have the first section of our zoo in, let's move on to the next part and see what we can do. So let's open up our zoo menu here and take a look at some of the more wide open and larger animal enclosures that we have. We have the lion enclosure, which is going to go in here. We also have a monkey palace, which I think is going to go over here as well, because these big wide ones, the elephants, the bison, the antelope, those are all going to go kind of in this section over here. They're going to be spread out a little bit more. So let's take the monkey palace and let's take the lion enclosure and let's put those kind of in here. And then this section over here is going to be a bit of a pathway and gardens and maybe a concession stand and stuff like that. We'll dip into some of our other park assets and see what we can come up with. So let me have a little go at putting in the monkey palace and putting in the lion enclosure, and we'll see what we come up with. Okay, time for me to admit I got distracted. I decided that our zoo needed a wetland in order to look really, really cool. And so a wetland we have put in with little walkways for people to go around and enjoy the wetland, and the mangrove swamp and the cypress trees, which I know don't grow together, but hey, it's a game and it looks cool. Now that we have our wetland put in, now we can get on to our monkeys and our lions. Welcome to the beginnings of the African animal section. So we've got the monkeys and we've got the lions, and I think to kind of draw this together over here on the other side of the pathway, we should put some giraffes, and maybe if we have giraffes, I think we do, and maybe some rhinos, other things that you might find in Africa. I kind of went for an African theme here with like kind of with the huts and the color scheme that we got going for the picnic area and the restrooms. And yeah, I think it's looking pretty sharp. I think we're going to be pretty close to getting this finished up soon, where we get ahead and put in the rest of the zoo. So we'll continue on with our African animals on this side of the path, and then we'll move on to what we have left over, and eventually a little beach area for our water exhibit. So let's get cracking on with that. We've added more of our section here. We now have a giraffe enclosure installed right here that goes along this section. We have the flamingos out front because they're beautiful and colorful, and everybody loves to see flamingos at the beginning of a trip to the zoo. We've got the elephants over here. We have, I believe this is rhinos here. We have antelope here, and we have moose and reindeer here. The only thing we have left to do is the bison enclosure. And to be perfectly honest, I'm struggling with where I want to put it. I think it's going to turn sideways and go in here, and I have to rework this sidewalk a little bit. So we'll do that next. And then the last thing to do is the water feature, which is going to go in over on this side over here. And our zoo will be getting close to complete. We'll put in some more eating areas and some concessions in this blank space up here. And yeah, we're going to have a wonderful looking zoo. All right, so unfortunately my recording software crashed while I was putting this together, but let me introduce you to what we've got put in. So we got the bison enclosure put in down here and tied in. I put in some little colorful gardens to kind of fill in some of the space and a gift shop. And then I decided that a zoo needs to have a place where people can enjoy interacting with the animals. And so we have a horse riding stable here where people can go on horseback rides. And then over here we put in a little concessions area where people can buy some food and take a nice little seat. And we got the bathrooms set up over there. The last thing that we have to do is to put in the water feature, which is going to go over here facing this area that goes out towards the bay. And so let's just go ahead and do that right here on camera. I'm going to pause the game because this city is getting so large that it's really starting to tax my system quite a bit. All right, so here is the water feature and it sticks out like that. And you actually see the little animals swimming around here and there in the area. And so we're just going to put it right in here where it meets this bay that opens out, or this little inlet that opens out into the bay. So I'm going to drop it in right there. We're going to grab the Move It mod and make it so it's not flying up in the sky. And I think we're just going to grab this pathway here at this intersection and just give it a little bit of love. Turn off snapping and collisions for a second while we get this put in. Then we'll turn those back on and we will come up here, do a little Move It mod action, straighten this out. And there we go. That's going to do us. So when we turn this on, give it a little bit of time to load here. And now you see little creatures swimming about in the water. Whale, rays, manta rays, I guess those are, dolphins. It's kind of nice. So that is what we have. This is our zoo in all of its stuttering, laggy glory. I'm actually really happy with how this thing turned out. We've got some blank space here, but I think that's okay. We're just gonna leave that as kind of a buffer between the parking and the zoo area. I'm really happy with how this turned out, and I'm excited to get started on our next project, which is going to be some beach real estate with some fancy hotels and stuff. So let's move over to another section of our island and get started on that. So our beachfront area is going to go right over here in this section. So let's pause the game for just a bit and let's get to painting some sand in. So if I go here and underneath my landscaping and disasters area, I have sand. I don't know if this is considered landscaping or if this is considered as a disaster, but we're gonna put some sand in and we're just gonna cover it up, something like that. We'll come in here and adjust this a little bit later. All right, so with some sand painted in, we're gonna put some roads down and I'm gonna pull a road right off of this intersection right here. And I'm just gonna shoot a straight road up to about the edge of the sand. All right, so the next thing I've got are these zonable pedestrian boardwalks. And these look really nice because if you combine them with the traffic manager to control what cars are allowed to go on and off this roadway, you can make some really neat looking, basically just pathways that still function as a zonable area where you can put tourism or buildings or things like that. And what I want to do is have this boardwalk facing the beach, and we're gonna put some hotels and stuff in here and then some tourist attractions down on this boardwalk, and then we're gonna decorate this thing out with some tent or with some umbrellas and beach towels and all kinds of different things like that, maybe some beach volleyball and stuff. So if I go into my Find It and I look up hotel, I wanna see what kind of options I have. So I've got this Courtyard Marriott Hotel, which looks like that. Not very glamoury beachfront. I've got a Marriott Hotel, which is a bigger one, which looks a little bit like that, and that's a little more glamorous. Not bad. What else do I have here? I have, this is kind of interesting, the Turbini Tower Hotel. That thing is massive, and it's definitely weird looking, but I don't know if it's quite what I want. I've got a yacht club. A yacht club is definitely going to go in. We're definitely going to be putting a yacht club down here for people to enjoy, but that's going to come next. I've got this Grand Casino. I think I really like the idea of the Grand Casino because it faces this way. It's like a long and skinny building. And I like the idea of being able to put it on this side road and have it stick out. And then maybe put in, if I put that here, and then having some other tourism zonable stuff come in right below it. That's one hotel. Do I have anything else? I've got the Hotel Mekere, whatever, I don't know what this is. That's kind of a neat looking one. That might look good on a beachfront. Maybe put this one up here on the main road, like that, and have it overlook the beach. And then what else do I've got? I've used that one already. This one I haven't used. This is the Executive Hotel, which is very, very fancy, but not quite what I'm looking for. And then lastly, I've got a couple of these these hotels that come with the Japanese pack. And I really like the resort hotel. I think we're gonna add one of those in as well. We're gonna have a couple of different hotels in here because this is just gonna be Hotel Alley. All right, so we've got those put in. And then the idea being that I'm gonna be zoning in commercial all along here. Fix this and prioritize newer roads because I just put that one in. Yeah, there we go, so straighten that out. So the idea being I'm gonna zone in some light commercial along this boardwalk and we're gonna let that develop. And then we're gonna decorate along this road front here. I almost feel like I need another hotel. Do I have anything? Do I wanna go ahead and drop this one in? It's a bit much, but I think I wanna go ahead and do it. We're just gonna drop that in back there on that main road. All right, so we've got some hotels fronting that area. This is all zoned in for the commercial. Let's check to make sure that I actually have that set up. So I come in here, commercial. I want tourism specialization. Let's let that run and build in some of the commercial zoning. And when that's done, we'll come back and do some decorating. All right, so what I'm currently doing is getting this area zoned in and decorated around these hotels. I'm using this pathway that I found on the workshop. I really like it. I think it's a good, nice beach vibe with the flowers and the tropical plants and things. And I'm kind of wrapping it around to give people a place to walk. I am going to eventually change this roadway out so these cars can't drive up and down the boardwalk anymore, but I'm going to leave them there for now because people are moving into the structures and the vehicles are required for that. But basically, I've just been going through this frontage area here, putting in some buildings, putting in some decorations, some flowers. I actually did the little trick where I pulled the zoning from my zoo down the river over to here and then chopped that off like I would do with a university in order to give myself some park space over here that I can use without actually having to put in a park gate. And so I can put in these decorative assets from the different park elements in just to give a little bit of a more attractive vibe. There's nothing I can do about the rail line, unfortunately. It is a necessary part of my city. I haven't figured out a good way to work it in, so it's just gonna be an overpass, and unfortunately people are just gonna have to get used to the rail lines. Maybe I should have put the zoo over here and the picturesque beachfront area over there, but it's too late to do anything with that now. The only thing we have left to do is get this beach area decorated out with beachy things. Maybe get our marina put in and some beach volleyball and things, and I think we're gonna be good to go here. So let me get on that and I'll come back and show you what I've come up with. Okay, so we got stuff put in. We have our marina with some boat props that I threw in there and some boats that are cruising around the bay. You can see them moving through here. We went ahead and threw a couple other park assets in here, some jet skis and a little boat dock. We put in some umbrellas and some chairs along with a little shower area where people can rinse themselves off. We put one over here as well. We've got the beach volleyball put in so people can play to their heart's content. And over here we have some decorative piers set up for those who want to go out and enjoy the sunset in the evenings. Followed up with this nice little skyline of hotels and restaurants and clubs and places for people to hang out and chill. And I think this is looking very, very sharp. I'm pretty happy with what we've got so far, and I think this is looking like a little tourist area that I would like to visit someday, I think. Let me know what you think. Again, sorry about the train tracks, but I'm working on that and seeing if there's anything I can do about it. But between this and our zoo, I think we have added some amazing tourist attractions to our little canal island here. And things are looking really sharp. One other thing that I have done, I was looking at some other pictures of the Australian Gold Coast that has inspired this for me. And I did see that there is kind of a little bit of a skyline built up on one small part around that area where they've got quite a few office buildings and things. And so to try to simulate that a little bit, I did put in one little section of IT clusters along with some unique buildings. I'm not sure what I think about this. I wish the IT clusters had some more buildings in them. I don't like that it's the same building over and over and over again. So I might go through the workshop to see if I can find some more skyscrapers that would look better in here and swap those out. But for now, I think it kind of gives it a little bit of one area with a skyline, whereas the rest of it, there's a few buildings sticking up here and there, but nothing too major. There is some high density echo housing over here that sticks up just to give a little bit of texture to the island so it's not just one big flat thing. But yeah, I like how this is working out. I like how it's filled in. I like the way it looks, and I'm very pleased with this experiment, and I hope that you are too. Thanks again for watching, and if you enjoyed it, please hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss any future content in the city of Odyssey. But until next time, I'll catch you later.